Okay.
All right. First of all, it's nice to see you. It's been a long time.
Good to see you too.
Anyway, I was disappointed that Tony didn't take the deputy mayor position in the county. Thought it would have been good for him because I think that he would be good as a city mayor next election if you don't go for another term.
Okay.
But anyway, I did want to apologize because, I didn't understand why, I don't know. It was kind of odd. And I've been sitting on this for a few weeks and I thought that I would apologize about that. Also, I don't, based on that conversation that we just had on the phone, I don't think that I can tell you anything that you don't already know. So I'm not here to waste your time.
I mean, you might. For me, it's just kind of, it's confusing because it seems you may think that some of the things that you know may be like more hush hush than they might be, maybe. But then, I feel like I have everyone and their mother trying to tell me stuff. And
no, well, I have actually kind of a suggestion, and I don't know what you might think about this. If there was like an anonymous tip line for civilians to call in, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people think they know a lot of things.
True.
And if they were afforded, the ability to be anonymous, maybe, we could get something done. They'd be more forthcoming.
Okay. What is it? Well, what prompted the call?
Well, I saw that you were on about, and I remembered that whole thing with Edgar saying that stuff, and I did want to apologize because I didn't like, the tone that kind of conveyed, but also he was a very sick man and very paranoid. So Edgar, the last time that I saw him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, why were you telling him shit?
No, he overheard like Tony and I talking about because we were meeting with, because this is when we were working on the campaign, and you and Mumbles were in that room. Okay. We were trying to meet up with Mumbles, and there were
Edgar told me everything, right?
Everything about what?
Between you and him. Your name did come up.
Such as.
Well,
sure
he told me that you told him about the explosions.
So did I get
Yes. He heard me talking about it.
Yeah.
Literally. And then we also talked about it at the
he said
place.
You told him directly.
What do you think?
So now it's got me like, was Edgar lying? Because he had no reason to lie about it. Him and I spoke outside the courthouse, like I think a week before, maybe a week before, like he disappeared, or maybe 2 weeks, something like that.
Oh, he's dead apparently.
Yeah. So well, I want to start there. Like, did you tell him directly, or are you gonna land on he overheard it? Because he was very clear about it.
What happened was so there was an explosion somewhere else, like a car. And then someone else said they heard there was an explosion at the courthouse. And I was like, wait, no, I heard it was just pipes bursting or something. But also, but I can understand how pipes bursting and an explosion. See, Mumbles said it was an explosion, whereas, you said it was pipes bursting. So I didn't know what it really was. I didn't really think it was anything that mattered, to be honest. And I really didn't expect him to bring it up to you. I was like,
So you did tell him directly?
I get it. I'm trying to think of how, again, this was 4 weeks ago at this point in time. Let me even think. Because the last time I saw him was at least 3 weeks ago. So this would have happened. When was the end of the campaign? I'm trying to think of when that would be. Regardless.
It was after the campaign, right?
The campaign was not over yet because this was the same day that Tony and I went to go meet with Mumbles for him to. Yeah, this was way back then. So that's why I'm trying to remember. Because he had asked me about a car explosion or something that happened.
Okay,
But
did
Tony
you
and I
tell
were
him
also
directly
talking
or
about
did he
openly.
overhear it?
That's what I'm trying to remember because I know that I was on the phone.
Jordan,
I was also talking to Tony.
If we're gonna
I'm serious.
Stop. I'm a lot more connected to you than you think I am. And if the conversation's gonna start with lies, then I'd rather not have them.
I absolutely agree. I'm just trying to remember because I recall distinctly that Tony and I were in Sandy waiting to meet with Bumbles. I was on the phone and we were also talking. Tony and I were talking while I was also on the phone.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you see what I'm saying here?
I think you know you told him directly.
I mean, if he heard me say it clearly, then there is no other way to say it. Then I told him directly.
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't understand it's not for me to say. I just wanted to apologize. That's it.
For what?
For that, because I never in a million years would have thought that it would be such a deal.
It wasn't a big deal.
It clearly is.
It's not. It's not really a big deal. It's a big deal if it sounds to me that you're kind of lying on some small shit. You know? Does that make sense? Like,
well, the thing is that I don't recall directly, and I want to make sure that I'm telling you the truth. So I don't know if he heard Tony and I talking about it.
What makes you think it's a big deal to begin with? Let's start there.
Because he called me and said, I need to meet you somewhere. And he pings me, and it's AK's grave. And it's to tell me that he talked to you. And he mentioned that. And that's the last time I saw him alive. So that leads me to believe it was a big deal for him to go out of his way to do all that.
Why were you working with a known terrorist providing information about potential explosions revolving around the mayor?
I was in DOC therapy.
While being a member of the county clerk's office.
I was doing DOC therapy, and he commented to me about an explosion. Like, there was a car explosion, like I just mentioned.
Yeah.
And I was like, are there like chain explosions going on? Like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I was like, maybe I was wrong when I was talking to Tony about it, because we were concerned, like, is Mumbles okay? Because we were supposed to meet with him. It was, I didn't understand what was going on. And then I believe you had asked me if I was okay that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was very confusing. Like, and then, for it to be that it was just pipes bursting, it just didn't make sense to me at all.
I killed Edgar.
I was told he failed in his deal with death.
With Alia, right? That whole mess?
I left notes for Norma to not bring her back because I thought it was wrong. Everybody thinks I'm trying to bring Edgar back, and I'm not. I'll just let them think that. I don't think people should be brought back at all.
I don't think you can.
No. I know that people can be brought back. I know someone that died for 2 hours and was brought back.
Died for 2 hours?
Hello? Who's this?
Yeah.
Recently?
You already know this.
I don't know if I do, to be honest.
I don't know. I think you might be testing me, which is fine.
You'd be surprised how much information goes through my mind and how things that might be, I actually don't, if I'm gonna be honest. Or maybe I do and it slipped my mind. There's only so much information I can retain.
It has to do with the first plague, and all that stuff at Humane Labs kind of thing.
The black goo?
But anyway. Yeah. See,
Yeah, but that could,
Ask Bobby Charles about it when he gets out of ICU. He'll tell you.
He's in ICU?
Yeah. That's what I was told. That he contracted the plague last night.
Okay.
The sewer plague. Excuse me.
Okay, but that's not the black plague.
Right.
Were you talking about the black plague?
Bobby is very well versed in all plagues, to be honest. Which,
the black plague was like 6 months ago.
Yeah. It
or
never
the black
really
goo,
went away.
sorry.
Well, the black goo, it never went away.
Amazing. Sure.
What do you think Edgar's issue was with me?
I have no idea, but I didn't ask because I mean,
Why wouldn't he tell you this? You were his
I
therapist.
asked him. Well, here's the thing. I asked him. I was like, "Do you think?" I was just like, it, so his paranoia ended up kind of like carrying over to me in the end, where I was like, you know, who is even safe anymore? And so I asked him. I was like, "Do you think that me working for the county is even a good idea?" And he was like, "Oh, you absolutely should." So that made me think that he was good with you. But I was, for him to be like, "Oh," like I said, the last time that I met with him, um, and talked to him at AK's grave, I just thought that that was, I didn't anticipate that, I didn't expect that, and I didn't know why I did it. I was like, "Why would you do that?" I was like, "That's so stupid." He's like, "Well, how was I supposed to know? I thought you'd tell everybody." I'm a selective yapper. Get the fuck out. Anyway,
Are you talking about Bobby Charles or Bobby Beldrum?
Bobby Charles. When the cops went into the sewers last night, Bobby Charles apparently got.
Gotcha.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
Jordan, I'm going to be honest. You kind of suss me out.
That's fine, and I understand that completely. I would think that I was sus too.
Well, because why approach
You
me
kind
all
of
of a
sussed
sudden?
me out too.
For what reason? You contacted
Well,
me.
mean, I know because I want to apologize first of all, like I said. But I mean, it feels like, for lack of a better way to phrase this, it feels like we're facing end times, and I mean, I'm not. Who can you trust? If you can't trust anybody, then whatever. I'm just. I'm tired of people also, like I said, gaslighting me to hell and back.
You mean like saying like you don't know whether you told Edgar or not?
Okay, that's like I said, that was like 4 weeks ago. I'm trying to remember clearly, and because I wanted to tell you the exact truth since you know more than I do. That was a very busy time. It was not easy being Tony's campaign manager.
Edgar seemed to oh, ouch. Poor Mumbles.
Oof. Mayor who? Oof. He's great, though. I don't know how anybody could say anything about him.
I need you to listen, Jordan. I spend most of my day dealing with rats.
Yeah.
And trust is something I don't give away very freely. But if the onset of our conversation is you not remembering the details of something that you believe is important to me, it really begins to... It makes it very hard to begin any kind of relationship.
I understand that. The point was I didn't at the time. I never could have anticipated that it would have been an actual serious matter that he would
It's not serious.
say to you. No, but it was apparently to him.
Okay.
So that's why I'm frustrated that I don't remember clearly, did he hear Tony and I talking about while I was already on the phone with him? Or, like I said, it's been at least 4 weeks now.
I'm confused. Do you not work on the penal system and shit?
No.
Penal
I
code?
just do, no.
Were you not invited to the review of the penal code?
Nope.
Why
So,
were other clerks invited? Not you.
I don't know. I mean, I would assume because people know that I leaked information when I was PD receptionist. I don't know. But that's fine.
You did what?
Nothing.
You
I didn't say
did?
that. This was a long time ago. It was to save people's lives. And
How is this helping?
What do you want me to say? I've lost a lot of people in this city, and none of their deaths have been prosecuted and been successful in it. And so, yeah, I confessed to all that, and it's fine. They tried to rehire me. It must not have been that bad. So how do you feel now? This was a long time. This was like 8 months ago, if not more.
Okay.
See, I didn't have to say that, and that was truth.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the most reassuring, right?
Well, okay, fine. I will be completely honest here then. I was pretty much traumatized due to what happened to my best friend, Chassie Marie. And that was why I did what I did in leaking information to save 2 people's lives, because I knew that nothing was going to come of, filing a report. And I was even told at the time, Jordan, nothing's going to happen. You need to file this report. Just be careful, because it was me and it was some other girl as well. So, yeah. But anyway. Not that that's any help, but that is what I did and why I did it.
Hey, I'm glad you called.
To this day, I get comments from the people that killed my best friend. I literally got something 2 days ago from somebody about it. And people tell me to let it go.
What was your main reason for approaching me?
To apologize. But also, I did want to kind of pitch my business proposal for, I needed to know about the pet adoption situation in the city, because that was something that you ran on, I think 2 terms ago. I wanted to do a cat cafe called Pussy Galore, where, we have it's like a Japanese, cat cafe kind of thing, but you can also adopt cats.
Okay.
But anyway, neither here nor there.
Were you part of any gangs ever?
I was kidnapped while I was still a receptionist. I had kind of a Stockholm syndrome thing in C4 with Sonia. I went through therapy and got out of that, got divorced, sold my house, moved back to the city, expunged. I did not enjoy my time up there, really, to be honest.
How you doing, honey?
Because the whole serial killer thing, that was when I first talked to you, I shot him. It was the whole thing.
This is like 6-7 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are you afraid of telling me that you didn't want anyone else knowing of this conversation's taking place? I'm just trying to get a sense of all this. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, are you not aware that everybody's listening in on phone calls and looking at everybody's text messages?
What do you mean?
I mean, just that. People are listening in on phone calls and observing text messages.
How would they be observing text messages?
I don't know. That's what I was told, though. And I believe it.
Did Edgar tell you this?
No. If he did, I don't know that I would entirely believe it, because he was very paranoid there towards the end. He told me he had 2 days or something left. I feel really bad, though, because called me, I believe it was the last day or 2, and he said, the one time I need you, Jordan, you're not there for me. It was just like every other person I've lost in the city. So, it just kind of sucked.
Okay.
Hello.
I think you should have made the area around the lighthouse a national park or something. I don't think anybody should own it.
That's up to Mumbles.
Yeah, I saw him and Princess there. They sold it. I saw that Norman didn't pay his tax. He gave me the tax. Couldn't believe death itself didn't come up with $400,000 to pay his tax.
Hey, boo.
I do think you should think about that.
I'll call you back in a bit. Sorry, say that again. I think the anonymous tip line is probably not a bad idea. I think the challenge that is occurring sort of with all of this stuff is there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so as a consequence, it's hard to really dissect truth from fiction. On one hand, I'm hearing the stuff is like very secret, and on the next, like literally half the city's talking about it.
It can be easily verified though if, you know, you have a starting point, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You just need to know who to talk to or who to listen to.
Yeah. What did you want to, is there anything you want to talk to me specifically? I don't want to be rushing this conversation more than
No,
you wish, but
I need
I need you to think about how
just-
that conversation actually went, Jordan. Because what
I'm
Edgar
gonna have
told
to
me
talk to
versus
Tony
what...
then.
Okay. Because between
But
what
he's gonna
Edgar told
know.
me versus what you told me is very different. And I want to say again, like, Edgar, yes, when he brought it up to me, thought it was... I don't know what the fuck was in his crackhead mind.
Exactly.
But irrespective of that, it's... To me, it's like... It feels like that you're kind of lying about something that ain't all that big of a deal. And that's where I'm having a little bit of trouble building trust.
No, I understand that. I mean, but at the same time, I have a lot other, you know, a lot bigger things I could be lying about here. And
Yeah.
I at the same time, I don't understand. Like, it's all very confusing to me with him because I just didn't get why it was a deal at all that he would latch onto that, and especially go out of his way to summon me to AK's grave in the middle of nowhere and tell me that he talked to you about this. Like, I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, he's just sick because he was sweating profusely yet again and, you know, not well, like I said, paranoid, out of his mind. And then apparently died like 2 days later. So I guess I'm confused, and I was trying to get some clarity and context from you as well. Because I've been sitting on this and I just didn't understand either.
I think Edgar thought it was an assassination attempt. I think he's convinced of it.
Oh, because of the car bombing thing. Okay.
What
Okay.
what car bombing thing? I don't know what you
There
mean
was
by
like a car. There was like a car explosion. That was what.
that. Got no
you know,
idea.
it was the same day. It was like around the same time, even.
No.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure, but maybe that's true, but unrelated. It was literally just, it's something sounded like an explosion and we didn't know what it was.
Well, I can see now
But
why his
somehow-
paranoia would connect them.
But what I will once again say is rather strange is why you would almost immediately tell Edgar that, right?
Because he was talking to me also about, like, when we were on the phone. I remember him talking to me about a car explosion or a car bomb or whatever. And Tony and I were waiting for Mumbles. And that had happened. Like, you had talked to me, and then Mumbles, I think, had also talked to me or Tony. I'm gonna need, let me talk to Tony for sure, so I know, because he was
I think it's
standing right
important to
there when
figure
I
out
was
what
on
the hell happened first. And like I said, there was no assassination attempt.
phone. Okay, I mean,
yeah.
all right. That's
But, it's kind of like, how do I put this? I think Edgar and possibly, I believe you, by extension, might think that there was more to it than it was. It's more, he told me one thing and you're telling me something else. I'm just finding that just very odd, right? So I'd like to close that disconnect.
Do you remember, though, that you talked to me on the phone about it?
Give me one
and
sec.
then later on,
Nino.
you text me.
Hello, I just had a question. I wanted an outside opinion on something. So, if, like, let's say there's a hypothetical, all right, there's a boost, okay, hypothetical, and a cop says they're gonna disable your car, then they do, and then on top of that, I guess, we'll say there's an interference car, right? And it pits a cop that's already smoking at, we'll say 50, and it goes out, and they VAF the car. Do you think that VAF could get removed?
Why
Or do
would
you think there's enough for it to stick?
Wait, if the vehicle
'Cause it
is
got
used as a
vaped.
pit?
Yeah, it got vaped because
what
they
was-
paid a cop that was already smoking at 50.
Ah!
I guess before, yeah.
Shut up. Go to a
After
lawyer.
another cop,
Contact
after
the
another
lawyer.
cop literally told me, I'm gonna
Contact the
disable your
lawyer.
vehicle.
Contact the
Okay,
lawyer,
you think it'll
please.
get off? You think it'll go off?
I think that's fucking brain dead if that's what it's coming to.
Okay. I just wanted to, I was like, maybe I'm wrong, but I just wanted an outside opinion. But there was no judges to ask. I was like, what is someone
You
thinking
go
about
to a
this?
lawyer and you challenge it, and it'll get removed.
Okay, I appreciate it. I just wanted an outside opinion. Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'll see
Okay.
you.
Bye. All right. Jordan,
Right.
I gotta get going.
Yes. All right. Okay. I was going to say, do you remember that you called me on the phone to make sure that I was okay? Because I think you thought that I was in the lobby. And at that time, you said there was an explosion. And then
Yeah, you were at
later
the
on,
desk.
you text. It actually wasn't. I was in Sandy with Tony. That's why it was
Oh, yeah.
weird. We were waiting for Mumbles. And then way later,
I
me
would just
and tell me
figure it
that.
out, right? Like
But I
and
need
like
to
I
talk
said,
to Tony,
it would
though.
be strange for Edgar to just tell me that you told me
I
this,
know.
and
I know.
you know, right? So I'm confused
don't
now.
get.
It's all confusing. I mean, whatever. It's
I don't
not
get-
the end of the
I don't
world.
get the point
It's
of
just, you know,
I don't know. Maybe it was to like discredit me in some way. I don't know why though. Like,
I don't know why
You
either.
talk to Tony. All right. Well, I just wanted to apologize though. That was all. I didn't mean for it to be this whole thing. The business proposal though, the animal adoption. If you can let me know if that's still in the works.
we don't have pets yet, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. That was like 2 terms back. I was hoping that was in the works.
It is in the works. Yeah, it's just the importers have other things and priorities. It was actually being worked on. I've seen some of it, but
All right. Well, I'll put this on, on hold for now then.
Yep.
And I'll work on my business proposal because I was hoping to get a grant, because I'll need the stuff like supplies for the cat. All right. Well, thank you.
all right,
See
anytime.
you.
All right, you take care.
You too.